Well, hello, everyone. Now, this is the California time slot for AGC Talks, but you're going to notice I am not Lois Kofi. I am Sean Waite, and what I'm going to be doing is filling in for Lois today. And those are some really big shoes to fill, so I'm going to try to do the best I can. But I do want to welcome you guys to our AGC Talks event. And we've got a really special opportunity today. We're going to be talking with Leslie Juencke. And what's going to happen there is we're going to be able to talk about with Leslie what are the things that can help an entrepreneur be very successful when it comes to their health. And the question she poses, are healthy entrepreneurs more successful? And so we're going to go into that. But first, obviously, we got to start with our normal good stuff. So let me bring up the slides here. All right, and that is always how fun technical difficulties go. So we're going to do it this way and go from there. All right, so like I said, I am not Lois Kofi. This is Lois Kofi of Lois Kofi Enterprises. AGC Talks is a sort of what we like to say, it's like a TED Talk, right? So what we're going to do is Leslie's going to join us, and she's going to have about a 10, 15-minute talk that is motivational, educational, and inspirational, followed by questions and answer time with Leslie. And that's the coolest part, is where we can dig in a little bit more and find out more information on what Leslie's got going on. This is Travis Sims. Travis is our CEO and founder. He is a best-selling Amazon author twice over now, I believe, and he has been doing this for quite a while. He knows his stuff. And he started and formed AGC to make it a global networking organization so that all of us together can be successful and grow, because we all know networking and building those relationships is going to be what helps us propel into the next arena. So play along. Add your city, your state, your country, #live. So if I'm coming from Hastings, Minnesota right now, please put in the comments where you're coming from. And we love questions. We love knowing if you're live or if you're in replay. And I'm going to be asking people and talking with people when we get to the question and answer period with Leslie. If you're not a part of one of our Facebook groups, you need to be. There's over 1,900 people that are already in our Facebook groups. Our public Facebook group, you don't even have to be a member yet. You can jump in there and learn and network and meet people. We're always putting out great stuff. Travis is hosting different events. We have 5 different events in Minnesota alone every month. Now we've also got the other areas of AGC that we have mostly virtual right now, but we're also going to be having some on-the-ground stuff coming up as well. Here's some different places you can see us: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Vimeo, Fire TV, Roku. If you've got a tube in front of you, you're going to be able to get us. And if you just can't get enough, if you just need a little bit more each week, Travis has got a fantastic AGC Experience podcast. It's the Smart Business Podcast, and it airs every Monday. You can find it at joinagc.com/podcast. It's on iTunes. It's on Spotify. It's basically everywhere podcasts are found. We have a fantastic sponsor today, Mailbox Power, betterappreciation.com. If you do not know about Bo Young and Mailbox Power, you need to be. I personally, as a sales and success coach, try to automate as much as I can, especially with follow-up and making sure that people are my clients I'm always in front of them and top of mind. Mailbox power is simply just an impactful way for you to help automate and make sure you're always in front and you're always on people's mind. Because as we know, just like with networking, if you're not on their mind, there's somebody else that might be, and they might be doing business with them. If you want to sponsor, if you want to be a sponsor for one of our upcoming events, just reach out to us because we have different sponsorships available for our different events. Just go to just email support@joinagc.com, and we're going to be able to tell you, hey, here's the different programs, here's the different areas that you're going to be able to get your name out there. You would think just having the Q&A period and just being able to listen to what Leslie's going to say today would be enough, but it's not. We are going to have a Zoom room after this where you can come. Now, normally we just used to have it just for members, but if you are a visitor today, if you're visiting us or watching this right now, right, it's not going to be available in the replay either. It's got to be live. You got to be doing it now. Join us afterwards where we're going to network. We're going to ask for referrals. We're going to get to know more about Leslie and some of the things that maybe she didn't share in the presentation because she's holding them special for when we get together in the Zoom room. So that's going to be right after this. Now, I know you're like, Sean, but I want to be a member. How do I become a member? It's only $1 a day. You can attend all our virtual events for only $1 per day. I mean, that's not even a cup of coffee at McDonald's anymore, much less Starbucks, right? So we want you to be networking. We want you to be helping us grow and helping you grow. So come join us. It's only $1 a day. There's regional partners. We don't do this. We can't do this alone, right? Like I'm helping out Lois right now. She's one of our regional partners. And as you can see, we have all these different regions that we are growing into because we truly want to become a global business, a global networking event. So when you go to California, you can drop into one of the events there. When you go to Guatemala, you can drop into Costa Rica, right? It's going to be one membership that allows you to do all these different things. It's just fantastic because you get to meet all these people, not only the members who you'll build relationships with, but the visitors. And I tell you personally, I have been able to make a lot of relationships and do a lot of business with people who even were just visitors, but became friends and had relationships with them. So we got Lois, we have Amy, Timothy Chin, Becky Speed, Dustin Speed, Mark Skipper, myself out of Arizona, Jake Perrone, Mark Dolfini, Denarius Lewis, Josh Peters, Les Hill, Karen Hill, and Scott Schreier. So listen in because we're going to have all these different people who are doing different events for you. Now, you didn't come here for me to tell you all that stuff. You came here because you wanted to hear what Leslie Juencke was going to say. Do healthy entrepreneurs make more money? I need to know. I want to make more money. I want to do more business. I want to help more people. I want to serve more people. Because when we talk about making more money, I would say most of us believe that if you serve, the money will come, right? But you have to be able to serve at that super high level to maximize the impact you're making. And when you listen to Leslie here in a second, you're going to see how much from the heart she is, right? And as we all know, being authentic, Lois, who I'm filling in for, is the leader of authenticity, right? That is what she does very, very well. And all of us try to emulate and live up to that. And Leslie, you're going to see it's from her heart. She wants us to succeed. She wants us to be successful enough that we can make that impact, not only in our own lives, but in everybody's life. So let me tell you a little bit about Leslie. Leslie's entrepreneurial spirit led her to start her own company. She then added network marketing to an already successful career. Her leadership skills, added to her recruiting and sales ability, quickly took her to top rankings. Leslie then, she made a little pivot. She became a certified health coach and, you're going to love this, a licensed financial consultant. Her heart for people and her love for teaching and encouraging makes her the perfect one to impart gold nuggets that will truly move the needle in the lives of her audience. So everybody, I want you to give a warm welcome as I bring on someone who I've gotten to know, and she's made a mark on my life already. Leslie, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me, Sean?
Yes, hear you loud and clear. Good to go. Thank you and welcome. And thanks for being part of this today.
Gosh, thanks for having me. This is fun. I love this.
Well, I'm going to have your information going across the bottom, but in a moment here, you're going to be kicking so people can reach out to you that way. And in a moment here, you're going to be going through some slides. Why the subject that we're going over today? What struck for you?
Being an entrepreneur my whole life, I wondered why my success rate was up, down, which also meant my income level was up, down, up, down. And the more I became healthy, the more I could flatten that line out. And the tighter you can get that, the better you do. So it became very clear to me that, I thought it used to be a silly saying, health is wealth, or wealth is health, or without one, you don't have the other. And I learned the hard way that it's absolutely true. So I dove in.
You know, I love the part of the financial consultant and the health coach. I mean, that's kind of a mixture you don't see every once in a while.
No, and I had a rough experience. Anybody else out there have a rough experience in their life ever? Of course we all do. I went through a rough experience, and a lot of things had to change on a dime for me, and a lot of income had to go in the wrong direction, shall we say. And this was in about between '08 and 2011, in that range. And so I decided that I had screwed myself, shot myself in the foot, so to speak. So
I always love how blunt you are. You're like, hey, this is how it is. Tell it how it is.
Poof, gone. And so I thought, well, I don't mind starting over. I mean, I can roll up my sleeves with the best of them, and I don't mind starting over. But I'm 66 and 3/4 to be exact. And so to me, I'm like, every month counts. It's not the time. So at 60 years old, I spoke with a dear friend of mine. We've been close since he was 17, and he's 39 now, and had started a financial services company. And I said, don't even talk to me. Everything I've ever had, saved, done, set up, it's all gone because of this situation. And he said, Les, it's not too late. I can help you. And I thought, right, I've heard that before. But I sat down with him, and the fact that I could dive into some tax-free retirement and position myself where what I had fees attached and different things that would have ended me at an end result at 70 to 75, because I know I'm going to work into my 70s. I have a ton of energy. I don't know if you can notice that. I've had no caffeine.
I seem to notice that, yes.
0 caffeine today, just saying. But not that that's always the case, but that's today. But
I'm going to lead us into right now into going into the slideshow, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give away all your secrets and all your info, because people have to join us in the Zoom room to get a little bit more of that as well. So first I want to do a shout out we've got Carrie Sweet Kostopoulos, who is, I'm going to say she's a friend of mine. I also happen to work with her. She's one of my clients, but she is a fantastic loan officer out of Lincoln Park, New Jersey. Thanks for joining in with us, Carrie. And now I'm going to shift over to the slides. So are you ready? Because you're going to be on your own here.
I'm ready.
All right. Hold on a second here.
I'll give you the sting thing, and we can flip slides. So away we go. The biggest thing that I want to tell everybody is a health reset, along with, in my case, the wealth reset, is available at any time you choose to have it. And then you will learn to love your now. So health reset, love your now, and let's move on. Sean. So I think I'm missing a slide, but can you back up one? Well, brain health's important. We'll just go with that. And one thing that we'll just go with brain health. That's fine. The thing that was right before this had a little bit to do with the importance of happiness. And my happiness slide was kind of fun. It was the Cliff Notes on happiness. And what it ultimately, I think one of my favorite things is knowing that your immune system will be improved if you stay happy. Your health and wealth will be affected positively or negatively, depending on whether you're happy or unhappy with your life or yourself or your health and wealth. And there are a number of important factors about keeping healthy. So the brain, of course, is one thing that people are most concerned about. And so we'll dive in there first. Food is definitely an effector. Why? Because food, you think to yourself, well, that goes into the gut. It doesn't go into the brain. When I feed myself, it goes down into my gut, but your gut's your second brain. So the brain and the gut talk to each other all day long. They're communicating on a regular basis. So if you don't feed your gut well, your brain isn't being fed well either. And the water is another key feature, because what your brain is 80% water. Now imagine when you've been over caffeinated, or perhaps you've had that night out on the town, you know what I mean, and you have dehydrated your brain. Are you thinking clearly? Are you working at your best? That's why people say, man, I've had 5 cups of coffee today and I still can't concentrate. I still can't keep my focus on my work. I'm just tired. Well, it's because you got that caffeine high and then crashed again, just like a sugar high and crash. And your brain gets dehydrated and it just will not serve you well. Sleep is another major factor. So what do we need to do with sleep? 7 to 9 minutes, 7 to 9 minutes. That's kind of my nights until I went through school. Well, not quite that bad, but 7 hours minimum, 9 hours is kind of the range. And if you're getting enough sleep, your brain has time to work through what it had. It also is great for the memory because it works through what you had taken in that day and stores it in the place it's supposed to be stored. So if you're not getting enough sleep, your memories may be a little shy. You may not be experiencing early stages of dementia or Alzheimer's, which I know a number of people get worried about. It may just be that you're not getting enough sleep and your brain is not storing those memories where they need to be stored. Then we move into, I'm going to put my glasses on because for some reason my slides are teeny tiny. The exercise. Yes, of course, exercise. And anything is better than nothing. When you take a walk, that's certainly better than sitting all day long. Many of us have an exercise regimen, and that's awesome, but you need to figure out something, because exercise will create more joy. It will also create a stronger brain. It will, of course, make a stronger body, but it also will help you sleep better. So for all reasons, the exercise is great. It also creates those happy endorphins, and that leads us, I'm going to bypass supplements and I'm going to talk about that more in the Zoom room. I've got some incredible things that even I just learned from my functional med doctor yesterday that I'm going to actually share for the first time, and you all get to be in on that cool news. But they are important for the brain and the body both. Thoughts, though, are key. And it's not your imagination that the word thoughts is bigger than the other 5 words, because thoughts control many things with your brain. If you have positive thoughts, then you are going to go one direction. If you have negative thoughts, you're going to go the other direction. It's like that proverbial snap of the rubber band on the wrist. I say to clients who really have issues, go ahead and put a rubber band on your wrist for a week. But literally, not necessary, but figuratively, I pretend sometimes like I have one there. And if my thoughts are taking me down a negative path, I pretend that I snap that rubber band, bam, and I say, I retract that statement. And unless you're in a public setting, say it out loud. I retract that statement. I'm sitting here and my slides didn't go quite the way I had planned. And you know what? There it is. But you know what? Can we adjust? Or should I just have a meltdown, freak out, freeze up, forget what I was going to say? Oh gosh, I'm so dumb. I don't know how to. I retract that statement. Yes, I can control what I talk about, whether my slides are right or not. It's okay. And we all need to learn to do that. We were talking about thoughts, and we can probably go ahead and review this slide. I love this slide. It's one of my favorite slides because Cliff Notes are on happiness are including a number of things that people often take for granted. Are you thankful? Do you every morning and night say something praiseworthy about your day or about something in your life? Most of us don't think to do that unless we've taken that class, as Jim Rohn says. So what do I tell my clients? 3 and 3. 3 in the morning, get your journal out, write 3 things every morning while you're having your morning coffee or tea or water or whatever you do first thing. First thing in the morning, write down 3 things you're thankful for. And every evening, write 3 more things in that journal that happened that day that you're thankful for. What does that do? You start your day positive and you got a little more energy. And you end your day positive and you go to sleep peacefully. It's a beautiful thing to implement. Giving and oops, I lost you. Giving and helping go together. And just know that whether it's a random act of kindness or something you're doing for your family or your friends or business workers, and you've planned that, all of that gives you that feel-good feeling. How about smiling? Those are free and they're renewable. It's a renewable source of smiles on your face. So don't be afraid to use them. Give them away freely and see how much better you feel when you gift a smile. Aim. What do I mean by that? If you're not aiming for anything, you have nowhere that you feel you're going. And sometimes that will lead to a less than happy feeling because we feel like we don't know. And you know that saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. If you don't aim for something, you'll end up nowhere. That's my saying. And experience, I mean that twofold. Experiences are important to have because they rejuvenate you and create a sense of happiness. But at getting more experience in an area that you're trying to improve in will also up that happy note. So that's cool. Break, that's the one I struggle with. I'm not good at taking breaks. I struggle with stopping working when I'm in the middle. And it's important. Sometimes your brain gets overloaded. And if you leave your workspace and you take a 5-minute break, take 3 deep breaths, maybe sit outside, get some sunshine. I sometimes will go read a few pages or do a brain game, anything that gets your brain in another arena for 5 to 20 minutes. Some of my multimillionaire friends have shared with me in my younger years something that always intrigued me because I hardly sleep enough at night, and they would do power naps. But some of you may enjoy a power nap. And connect. What do I mean by that? The last 18 months has been probably the hardest of all the months in my lifetime to stay connected. And we all know why. And it's a bummer, and I'm not going to belabor that. But if you're struggling to stay connected, or if you just are not one to typically connect, it's an important piece of happiness. I'll tell you a quick story. I connected with some friends recently who I missed. And I said, I got an idea. We used to have dinner and get all caught up, and then we'd sit down and play a game or watch a movie because we were all done chit-chatting. So our favorite thing was to play a game because then we'd laugh. And of course, that's a good thing. And they're like, but how do we play the game on Zoom? And I thought, I've got it. Yahtzee. We both had our own sets of dice. We played Yahtzee. We laughed till the wee hours and just had a great time. So just consider that. And we can fast forward, and I'm not sure what slide's going to come up next, but we're going to have fun with it, whatever it might be. Okay, we're going to eat fruits and veggies, and more fruits and veggies on your plate than anything else. That alone, you don't even have to measure whatever, but I always say 8 to 9 fruits and vegetables every day is a good starting place. But find some that you like, a variety of colors, and introduce them. And if you can choose organic, do so because of the pesticides. But when you can't, because you can't find what you're looking for, or budget doesn't allow for organics, consider the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen as your guide. There are 15 that are the best to use, whether they're organic or not. They're safer, have fewer pesticides testing. And then there is the Dirty Dozen. Those 12 that are just the worst to consume on a regular basis with pesticides. So let's shift, Sean, to the next slide. Water, of course, your brain is 80% water, so it's important to the brain, but it's also important to stay hydrated. It will affect you as far as your weight, sorry, as you're creating the weight maintenance, and it also assists in weight loss. So lots of good reasons to drink lots of water, and half your body weight is the rule of thumb. So if you weigh 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces of water. And if you don't like water and you're a little bit on the heavy side, take a few pounds off. I have a client who hated water, but she got at a plateau and couldn't lose any more weight. And she was trying to drop 60 pounds. So I said, okay, if you don't like water, but you're at a plateau, you need to drink water. And if you don't like water, that's a perfect incentive to drink more water, because as your weight starts coming off, you will need to drink less water. She thought that was funny, but also it was an incentive. Next slide. Sean, next slide. And maybe they're stuck. So let's see, what do we want to talk about next? One thing I can say is I get asked a lot about COVID and is there anything one can do? And just know this, creating a healthier lifestyle, both with what you eat, your water intake, the amount of sleep you have, the exercise you get, and the supplementation you take, that will, and you can stay on that slide, Sean, that will actually help you increase your immune system and give you more protection against any ailment, COVID or otherwise. So yes, you can enhance your immune system and create a better power punch. And as we've all been told, we have 21 days typically to make or break a habit. Who here has heard that? Of course. But just, I want you to know this, as a health coach, it takes 6 months to cement that habit. So it's always good to have a coach or accountability partner to help you stay on track, or a support system within the home or business to have somebody there that's going to help you track what you're doing and stay on track. I get asked more than anything when it comes to habits, what do you think? You've read my health history. You know a little bit about me. What do you think I need to do? Are there things I should add to my life or take away? There always is. So clean eating. And what do I mean by that? I just mean more fruits and vegetables as opposed to more packaged processed. Clean eating does not mean the same thing for everybody. That's a widely used, clean eating is a term that's widely used now. And I don't like it because for me, I can eat more lettuce, kale, spinach, and things like that. And that in lieu of something else will help my weight stay maintained, will help me have energy and feel good. However, I have friends who have autoimmune deficiencies, or say IBS or IBD, Crohn's. There are different diets that work for different people and different bodies with different things that they're dealing with. So I'm just saying eat clean within the parameters that work for you. Of course, creating a better water consumption and getting your 15 to 60 minutes of walking in a day, if that's all you do, that's a great start if you've been doing nothing. Sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night, reading, praying, meditating, keeping a gratitude journal is all good. And of course, planning for retirement. When? Now. I don't care if you're 30, 50, 40, 60, I don't care. The best time is now, because the more time you have, the better you'll plan. And we'll move on, since it's gone to circle of life. Personal balance in all areas is important. And I want to point out here, the circle of life wheel houses the first 4 starting clockwise. And those are considered your primary foods. If you can picture those without the nutritional on that wheel, you've basically got your spiritual, relational, physical, and financial parts, that if any of those are out of balance in any way, if you've got 12 spokes and you've got 3 out of alignment, then picture a wheel that's not fully round. Those spokes are going to look more like a star, and that's going to give you kind of a bunch of points instead of a full round wheel, and your ride is not going to be smooth. So how do we get a smooth ride with primary foods? Pay attention in your spiritual world to your joy, your spirituality, and your creativity. Relational, pay attention to your social life, your relationships, and your home environment. Physical, pay attention to your health, your physical activity, and your home cooking. Financial, pay attention to your career, your education, and your finances. I did something with the Circle of Life wheel very recently, and one of my business coaching clients reached out to me from a health perspective and said, I think I know why I've got a stop in my business life. I'm really out of line in some areas, and this really helped me. He said, spiritually speaking, I don't have a lot of joy in my life. And physically speaking, I'm okay. Financially, I'm good. But relationally, Leslie, it just occurred to me, I'm not creating new relationships and I have no social life. So those are 3 areas where his wheel was out of alignment, and he was paying the price. So now we know what we can work on. Sometimes as a business coach, I can help people create their business and finances to a better level if we back up to the health piece to then go forward. And the nutritional piece of that wheel is basically your secondary food. So you're going to choose better foods more easily if you are healthy in those other 4 areas of your life. Often, if those are out of alignment, your nutrition is automatically out of alignment. So it's always a thread. I say thread your way to success. Get healthier choices in those primary foods. That'll lead to healthier choices, nutritionally speaking. And then that will lead to a better ability to stay focused, stay on task, stay on track to hit your goals, and achieve the goals that you set out to achieve in a timely manner, one that you've structured to hit. And we can skip this slide because I kind of went through that a minute ago. And probably at this juncture, all I would probably want to say is I super appreciate all of you being here with me today, and I want you to choose to reset your health. Understand it is never too late for a health reset so that you can love your now. And I want to thank you for being here. And Sean, thanks for the opportunity to share some health information.
All right, I'm going to hop back in here. And I just want to say, with the slides and everything like that, you guys notice she just rolls with the punches. That's what a professional does. And so thank you guys for sticking with us with a little bit of the technology there. Leslie's going to be in our Zoom room afterwards, where she's going to be able to talk a little bit more, answer your questions, go a little bit more in depth on things. And, Leslie, before we go to the Zoom room, for those who are going to be watching this in replay, any final parting words?
How bad do you want it? That's what I want to ask you all. I had to ask myself that. I knew a man who was big on acronyms, and I thought, I'm going to get my own acronym. And I decided, want. How bad do you want it? W, will. A, attitude. N, nonstop action. T, tenacity. How bad do you want it? You've got to have the will, the positive attitude, nonstop action naturally, and tenacity. I look forward to catching you in the Zoom room.
Well, thank you guys. I'm bringing up the Zoom room here. And Leslie, I'm going to release you off into the Zoom room while I talk with these guys for a little while.
Okay.
All right. So I'm actually going to launch the Zoom room. So when you're done hearing me talk, you can jump right in there and be good to go. So there we are. It's going in there. All right. So thank you guys for, sometimes slides get out of, they get out of whack, right? And yet we roll with it. It's kind of like being an entrepreneur. It's kind of like being in business. And that is one of the things that with live TV, we get to deal with. But thank you guys for staying with, and thank you, Leslie, for being the consummate professional. And let's go to the next slides. We talked about it before. $1 a day. Join us. $1 a day, and you're going to get to see and listen to all these different things that will go into the affecting your life and your success. AGC Talks, AGC Minnesota, Indiana, Iowa, California, Arizona, Missouri. These are all the different places that we've got AGC going. So we'd love for you to join us and attend some. Minnesota, we're back in public, or in person, I should say. It's pretty awesome. Getting to see people, bumping elbows, shaking hands, whatever you're comfortable with. And then, like I said, we have a lot of the virtual with the rest of the areas. We want to thank our premier sponsors, Gandy Wong, who is a genius, Global IT. His company makes things happen, and it helps make things happen for us. It lets us be able to do the things we do and stay connected with our members and our visitors, and let you network and build your businesses as well. These are all the different things. These are all the different things that we want to do to be able to make our business succeed. We want to have fun. We want to have education. We want to have vision, motivation, all of these things. This is what AGC is about. That's what we got going for today. So once again, thank you so much for joining us. Please join us in the Zoom room, because that's where the fun really happens and the magic really happens. Have a great day, guys. Really appreciate you.